Taurus, welcome to your April reading. We're going to cover a whole bunch of stuff today. We're going to do themes, we're going to look at obstacles, blessings, and just what April has to bring to you. So we're going to start with theme. And if you want to take a deep breath, ground yourself, connect with your guides, connect with spirit, ask questions, ask for a sign. I'm going to be looking at a lot today, so let's pull the theme cards and see what we have as a theme for April for Taurus. Celebrate the sacred gap. Give thanks for buffer time. And then we're going to get another one from a different deck. April, theme for April for Taurus, Spirit. Theme for April for Taurus. Oh, let's jump out. Collaborative dreaming. All right, so let's take a look at these and just lean into that a little bit, lean into these themes before we begin to pull from the tarot. So I love the way that the colors, there's a sense in which these colors are very, very similar. So I'm thinking that like the energies of April, you know, what's coming through is that April, there's a balance. There's like a harmonious balance sort of a feeling. So you're definitely like in this liminal space. There's no two ways about it. April, I'm seeing like that. I'm seeing you like really go from a dark place to a light place. So you're getting out, and there's a sense in which you are dreaming your way forward in life, and that you're not like alone in this. That there's like, you know, you're a part of a collective or a family or a partnership, or even like, you know, there might be somebody who you are connected to thinking of you, but there's a sense in which the future that you're manifesting with another energy, and that this liminal space that you're in, it's a good time to sort of like take stock and begin dreaming about like what you think you almost, I'm just seeing like a vision of like a vision board, and the sense in which like you're manifesting energies coming towards you, and these energies are also manifesting you. That's what's coming through like the clearest. And so I'm going to pivot the camera down as I do the, so you can see me shuffle as I do the main part of the reading. So I'm just going to do this so that you're able to see somewhat. As well as we can. So we're actually bring that up a little bit. And we'll start here. Okay, so let's look at a key goal that you should be looking at for the month of April. What is a key goal that you should be looking at for the month of April? Spirit, a key goal for Taurus in the month of April. Trying to grab these. Okay. The month of April, there's a sense in which you're having some trouble making a decision, or you're at a crossroads and there's two directions that you could go, and you're just having some trouble trying to figure out where. So in terms of a goal to pursue, Spirit wants you to lean into your intuition, into that sacred space within yourself, almost like the holy of holies of self. This is what Spirit is saying, that this is a goal for the month, because for those of you that this is resonating with, again, it's a collective read, so some stuff is going to resonate and others not. But for those of you that have been feeling like you've been carrying a broken heart with you for a very, very, very long time, that this has almost become kind of a part of you. It's something that like there's an extent to which like you are big-hearted, you are a source of love, you are bright, you are a force to be reckoned with when it comes to taking care of your loved ones and even, you know, the love that you have yourself. But there's also a sense in which this broken heart has been, I'm seeing someone carrying an egg, like very gently, like held and carried. And so what Spirit would have you pursue as a goal is to move into an empowered space, not a tyrannical, controlling, like orderly, I know that this is the right way and I know that this is what it should be. And I'm hearing someone say like, I'm trusting my intuition. I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know what this means. And Spirit's saying, I kind of want you to loosen your grip a little bit on that. You're coming into this space where you're really starting to move out of a healing space and into a more healed space. And even acknowledging that this, has been carried and in such a delicate way. And that Spirit would have you actually like move into it like a more universal perspective. And it's not saying you aren't already there too, but there's an extent to which like, let me just listen for a second because there's some trying to come through, and I'm just going to catch this like clearer. So I'm just going to give it 1 minute. I'm going to look at these for a second. Just feel them. Spirit says you're meant to heal yourself. You're really meant to put your healer, you're a natural healer, and you're really meant to put that healing energy into yourself. Because Spirit's like, even though you are this magnificent, glowing, like beautiful, like I'm hearing again, holy of holies, there's an extent to which like both of these things are true. You're in this energy of like healed and radiant and healing, and basically the heart, I'm seeing like the heart space of a room, but there's also a sense in which like you also carry a level of hurt. I'm drawn like to the way that she's sort of holding this sword, like, and just like very like loose with her wrist, but there's a tenderness of brokenhearted tenderness. It's like that's a shadow in the wings, really. And so while you are very much this needs to be tended to. And so Spirit wants you, as one of your goals, to soften your grip on being okay. I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm amazing, I heal myself. To soften your grip on being okay, as you pull yourself out of this, as you pull yourself through and out, you're in a healing place and you're moving into a healed place. And so that's really a goal for April, is to really make a decision, make it like very like decisive and with intention, that you're going to let yourself be, you're going to loosen your grip on how, like, you are this amazing, beautiful creature, but there's healing that you're undertaking in April, that you're moving through, and a lot of that has to do with just allowing a softness into that area of your life and healing process. And I'm just basically Spirit saying, like, of course you're beautiful, of course you're bright, of course you're strong, but there are recesses of healing that you're going to be undergoing in April that won't be, I'm not seeing anything painful or by contrast. Spirit is just saying, like when you're in those moments, just to allow that stuff to pass through you is really what's coming through strong. And so now let's see what an obstacle to overcome in the month of April for Taurus is. What is an obstacle to overcome for Taurus in the month of April? Some obstacles to overcome for Taurus in the month of April. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers in reverse. So there may be a sense in which, and we also have the Two of Cups in reverse, an obstacle to overcome. Let me just take a look at this. I'm going to spend a little bit of time just feeling this out. Spirit wants you to move forward despite how there's a sense in which there may be a heaviness related to how you're feeling about intimate, romantic, loving relationships in your life, there may be a heaviness that you're carrying with you, like related to heartbreaks that have not, you know, there's that broken heart, you know, that part of like where this disappointment and the heartbreak of not being misunderstood and not seen correctly and not equally matched has you in a place that's like somewhat unbalanced and like sitting in this energy of like, oh, all the years that have been taken, all the time that has been taken, all of the energy, you know, that was given, and just feeling very, very down about this and letting this be something that like weighs you, that, you know, there's almost a persistent belief that, oh, I can never have this, or this is as good as it gets. I mean, there's a level of disappointment, and Spirit is saying, you know, the obstacle I want you to overcome is to know that no, you're going forward. Your life is in a place of movement. It's in a place of forward momentum. And while this is stuff that needs to be, you know, acknowledged, and you're allow it to like move through you and let that healing take place so that you can achieve that balance. To also know that this activity of like giving this time to heal this broken heart, that this is actually the fuel and like it's like the vehicle moving you into a new arena, into a new space in your life, one where there isn't a dominant belief system that this is as good as it gets, or that this can't be yours, you know, in the way that you had dreamed or hoped or imagined. And so the obstacles to overcome any kind of negative thinking that's like fatalistic in terms of relationships, that's fixed, and to allow for this movement to take place and to actually even like, you know, move through these obstacles by letting them, like, you know, it's almost like you want to acknowledge these feelings. You want to say, I accept this feeling, because that's accepting yourself. But, you know, that's like accepting that inner child. And then like, as you accept this feeling, you'll feel a little bit of peace. Like, this is an exercise that is so helpful. And that is when there's negative emotion, because, you know, what I'm seeing, and for the Taurus that this is resonating with, what I am seeing as a Taurus is so strong and so resolute, you know, and in their strength and in their ability to cope, that sometimes like that strength can overshadow a need for tenderness towards that inner child in certain ways where that attention isn't being paid. And so I'm being drawn to share with you an exercise, which is, you know, when a really negative, nasty, like feeling comes up and you kind of just want to like push it aside, you know, and then to a degree that's kind of numbing, or even just like attend to it and try and like clear it away or push it away. What Spirit is saying is like, I want you to just let that feeling, right, like there it is, and just to yourself say the words, I accept this feeling. And Spirit says, and then you're going to feel a certain kind of peace. And as you say, I accept this feeling, it gives that feeling permission to express, whether you have to like cry a little bit, or just like, you know, punch a pillow, or, you know, go for a run, or even have a conversation, you know, reach out to someone to talk about some of this stuff and process it through. But, you know, Spirit is saying, I really want you to take that time. I accept this feeling, allow that feeling to come up. And Spirit says, and that feeling, when you acknowledge it and give it that room to breathe, will pass through you. It won't stay there. It will pass through you as something that that's processed, and it's no longer held in that space. And that's when you can really enter and really allow yourself. This is like basically what these two cards are saying so clear to me, is just to really allow yourself to heal these areas. And so in April, this is going to be like, there's going to be a real big focus on that. And so an obstacle to overcome in the month of April for Taurus, Spirit, let's look at that. An obstacle to overcome in the month of April for Taurus. An obstacle for Taurus to overcome, okay. Spirit, obstacle for Taurus. Oh, there we are. Okay. Whew. So let's see at the bottom of the deck energies for this question. You've got the Six of Cups in reverse. And you know, this is generally the soulmate reunion card, and it can even be like past life soulmate, you know, someone from the past and a reunion. And so the bottom of the deck, we have like, and you know, and asking Spirit, you know, what's an obstacle to overcome? Spirit is saying, you know, to the extent, and I think this is very much related to this like tenderly held broken heart, any level of disappointment about, you know, a relationship gone awry that has just not resulted in union for a very long period of time. You know, there's a sense in which Spirit says like you're very fixed on this one option when in fact there are just so many. And Spirit saying like so whoever I'm speaking to is a very spiritual person who has a real sense of who yeah, I'm hearing divine feminine, divine masculine, twin flames, and Spirit is saying that's a very fixed position. That's this energy that part of the goals is to sort of, you know, let go of this energy of I know who this is and I know what this is supposed to be, and I know, like, you know, because Spirit's saying like this hope delayed is making the heart sick. And so, you know, there's the Spirit's not saying like I question what you think and, you know, you're wrong. There's none of that. It's just, you know, a fixation is blinding you and to an extent where you're not really seeing this way forward that allows you to manifest into your life the energy that you are seeking. And so what's becoming, and you know, what Spirit's really saying is like, you may, and this actually came through another reading, but let's see if I can capture this. There may be somebody that you have a fixation and that you dream about often, and that this is like your like comfort. I want to hear, there's a, I'm trying to get the, I feel the sensation, I'm trying to find the word for it. It's not comfort zone, it's like a soothing, you know, the soothing sort of space where this love for this person and this energy exists. And Spirit saying like you may be connecting with this energy and you may be calling this energy in, but Spirit says that energy, for some of you it's a collective read, some will resonate, some won't. For some of you that means that the energy that you're calling in will come in, but just might not be that body, might not be that face. And as frustrating as that is, or upsetting as that is, you're still calling in that beautiful, loving energy, and that, you know, the things that you're desiring in your heart, you're still calling that into your life. It just may not come in the way that you expect. So Spirit's like, so, you know, the obstacle to overcome is to be so fixated on exactly how this is to come to you. And for others of you, Spirit is saying like, being fixated about the when and the how and the what, like, you know, this may be this person who's coming into your life, and this may be the person that like you're thinking about is the right person and is like that counterpart for you, that divine counterpart for you. But Spirit is saying like the obstacle to overcome is trying to have like a map of expectations because it's blocking the actual way to manifesting this energy into your life, whether it is that person or it's that energy that that person represents. And so that's the obstacle to overcome going forward in April. And so now let's look at an accomplishment. Let's look at an accomplishment for you in this April. What is accomplishment? Ooh, look at that. Queen of Wands jumped right out. This is a beautiful energy. What is an accomplishment that Taurus can look forward to in the month of April? Well, right off the bat, what jumped right out is this beautiful Queen of Wands energy. This is this energy of, how do I always, you know, I can rattle off like, you know, passionate and inspired and sexy and beautiful and interesting, you know, all of that is true, but you know, there's something coming through and I just need to give it a second so that I can let it really empowered. You know, an accomplishment that you can really look forward to is like in going through that healing, that you really step into this incredibly empowered space. Spirit says to get another card, but you know, that's one of your accomplishments is to just really step into this space of empowered and sexy and interesting and inspired and inspiring, alluring. I mean, this is a very passionate, fiery sort of an energy. And it's a beautiful energy. I mean, it's an admired energy. And so let's get one more card in terms of this accomplishment related to, but this is the accomplishment is that you step into this space and they're really embodying it. And you've been coming into this, like, you know, I think last month's reading too, you were very much in this like beautiful, vibrant place. Ooh, let's see what this is. Wow, Ace of Wands. Wow, you're gonna, that's double fire. Okay, so you've got like a passion. What is your accomplishment? In coming into this space, there's this passionate new beginning. I mean, that's what these, you know, you stepping, you know, being able to process through that residue and the residual pain. Like, yes, you've done the work. Yes, you are in this enlightened place, but, you know, I'm seeing someone carry a little egg. There's a delicately held hurt or a delicately held wound or a delicately held, you know, and maybe not even fully acknowledged inner child issue and inner child pain relating to a belief system about the possibility of this. That as you allow for that space, and if you give those emotions that place to breathe, and not like really just pushing them away or clearing them out or, you know, pushing them down or dismissing them, but actually saying like, I accept this emotion long enough to get that moment of peace, so that you can allow whatever that is to just pass through you. And in that, you step into this beautiful energy. And as you step into this beautiful, beautiful energy, that Spirit says that's when that passionate new beginning comes in. It's very much related to these movements. And so now let's take a look at like what you want to sort of be mindful. Look at this. This is also like the passionate new beginning card. So that's coming in like extraordinarily strong for you. So let's think about, let's ask Spirit if there's anything very particular that you should be thinking about avoiding. What should Taurus avoid, Spirit? What should Taurus avoid in the month of April? What should Taurus avoid in the month? Oop. Wow. Okay, let's look at all this. Let's just take it. Wow, there's a, wow, you know what this is related to? Okay, so get like, this is in the reverse. I always read this like, you know, giving up the fight to a certain extent. And why that's meaningful, that's the bottom of the deck energy, is like giving up the fight. And when you move out of the fixed energy about what you think this absolutely needs to be, and you move into a place of spaciousness where you're allowing Spirit to show you rather than have your determination. And again, that determination like leads to this like sense of disappointed about this energy, but this energy just came out in the upright. So let's just pull this over for a second, because I think as you make that shift, as you give up the fight to have it exactly the way that you think it should be and that you want it to be, as you give up that fight, and you really put that armor and you put that army down, it's what Spirit's like bringing through. You know, that is this energy of like allowing, you know, this stranglehold on how you need it to be or want it to be or expect it to be, or are frustrated that you're not seeing it be, or like, you know, this level of like, where is this reunion, or is this ever going to happen? Spirit says like letting all of that stuff, letting that train of thought that like that has its like deep tracks like in your mind, like letting that die, letting that stop like, you know, working on like putting that habit to rest as you like allow for the emotions to come up so that you can heal. You know, this isn't like, you know, not demanding that this begin in a stable way, not demanding for signs that this happen in a stable way quickly, or, you know, that you see this gift come in. Like there's a sense in which it's like putting down the demands of like knowing that this is meant for you, or knowing how this is meant for you, or knowing what, you know, just letting it, you know, putting that down, because this is causing this sort of distorted energy of, it's almost like Spirit's like, I don't want you to try to manipulate your blessing, because you're depriving yourself of that self-growth and that self-love that comes of letting the process come of itself. You know, Spirit says when you like put down this fight, you know, and it might not be that you're actively like duking it out, but this just might be in like the darker moments of the, you know, recess hours where you're, you know, feeling really down about like, you know, well, where is this? Well, where is this? This is Spirit is saying like, in terms of like, you know, what you want to like, you know, avoid, like Spirit saying this is coming. That's this soulmate, relationship, this reunion, and it could be, again, it doesn't have to be a reunion with someone in your like immediate past. This could be a reunion with someone that you've spent thousands of lives together. Okay, so the soulmate reunion, you're pulling that energy in. Is it in the flesh suit that you think it is? It's possible it's not. Are you right about that? The person that you think you're right about? You may be. It's a collective read, so it's going to be different for everybody. But Spirit said, yes, this is coming in. This is happening. This is real. But, there's a process here about self-love, about I am enough. This is a new loving, emotional, like beginning. This is a gift of love from the divine, and Spirit saying, you're denying me this process that I am giving you by holding on too tight, by deciding that this is, by holding on to this, and, being in this energy, So Spirit wants you to know, yes, this is a thing. Yes, you can expect this. But put down the fight of the how, the when, the where, and the who. Because you're depriving the divine of that last learning curve, that like Spirit's like, you need this for this. And so allow the emotions to express and let the expectations die, because there's just more that Spirit say, yes, you're gonna have this, right? But don't be in this, don't be in this, you put down the fight about the how. Really, that's so important. So that's, avoid trying to control or even like damn or, feel disappointed and about how things are playing themselves out in terms of like something that you really long for and something that you really want, because you are in this liminal space. But that doesn't mean the dreaming that you're doing about someone else isn't calling them in, and that what you want doesn't want you. Spirit's saying what you want does want you. But you don't know really what that's going to look like yet, because that's part of the gift and the surprise and the process of letting go, in the process of letting Spirit, like that gift of love and that self-love, let that bloom, so that this soulmate reunion, which Spirit is like ensuring you and that you're going to have this, that it comes in when it's supposed to, when you're ready. Because if it comes in when you're not ready, it's going to suck. It's going to hurt. But when it comes in when you're ready, that's like a beautiful energy. It's like a beautiful flow when it's divinely timed, divine timing. It's easy when it's divine timing. It's not hard when it's divine timing. It's not wondering if they're going to call, because they just do, because it's divine timing. There's not like such a heavy ebb and flow, because it's divine timing. So like letting the divine timing be the divine timing is also letting it be easy. And so let's look at what to embrace for Taurus in April. Let's look at what to embrace for Taurus in April. What should Taurus be embracing, Spirit, as we go into April? What should Taurus be embracing? It's a nice embrace. What should Taurus be embracing? Okay. What should Taurus be embracing? Okay, so we have a bottom of the deck energy of left out in the cold, rejection, abandonment, like deep abandonment fears, and deep experiences of abandonment that have left you like tremendous wounds, wounds that may have you like carrying around that heartbreak and sort of trying to protect by trying to protect yourself by orchestrating everything in a certain way, or having a stronghold on what is and what isn't, not allowing for uncertainty as a result of deprivations of the past. What Spirit is saying is like, something to embrace is this transformation. This transformation where you're moving into a space of like emotional mastery, emotional intelligence and emotional mastery, and like moving out of change into that metamorphosis. And so, not past the it's like the butterfly in the cocoon, like past that point of like ego death in the cocoon and into the butterfly phase, and like really watching those ships come in and watching that soulmate reunion come in. And like, again, when I say soulmate, it can be best friend, it could be parent, it could be sibling, it can be any kind of relationship. It could be like, it could be a child, you know. And Spirit is saying, you know, watching those ships come in, like that soulmate energy and that soul family energy that you are longing for, you know, as a result of this emotional mastery and this transformation. But this is really heavily dealing with this idea of abandonment, fear of abandonment, or like a belief system related to like not being let into anyone's heart, or not having anyone let you in their heart. Like that's this thing that Spirit really wants you to work on, so that you can move forward. And you are in April, you're you know, it's like Spirit saying you've done so much work, but I just need you to do, there's just like these recesses of pain that need attention from you. And so that's what this is about. And so what Spirit really wants you to embrace is like, yeah, coming into that emotional mastery, allowing for this metamorphosis to really actualize, you know, it's like move into that butterfly, so that you can see those ships come in, and the things that are, you know, sort of like held in, you know, in the manifestations that are like held and waiting can really spill out. And so let's ask, where would you find support in the month of April, to the extent that you need it? Like, where's a place that you would find support in the month of April? Where is a place that you would find support in the month of April? Ooh. All right, let's keep going. Where's Taurus? All right, find support in the month of April. Oh, you've got some really beautiful energies here. Move that down a little bit. Bottom of the deck, really standing in your own power in an independent space, you know, like working on yourself without so much a chorus of, you know, comrades, friends, you know, people that you generally like work with, you know, like Spirit is saying, actually, like, this is the time for, you know, like Spirit wants you to look at your support system. Like, you know, so when we go like, who do you go to for support? Spirit's saying, I want you to be a little bit more open-minded and sort of extend your circle of support beyond the few people that you have been getting all of your support from, or a lot of your support from. Again, it's going to resonate differently for different people, because there's more, you know. Spirit's saying, like, you don't want those influences to really define or frame your progress or your lack of progress. Spirit wants you to sort of open your mind to this idea that there are new avenues of support opening up for you, that are like healed, beautiful. This is a healed energy. This is a vibrant energy. This is an admired energy. And this is an energy of like letting go, but it's not just an energy of letting go, it's also an energy of walking towards yourself. So Spirit wants you to, like, to the extent that there may have been like a support system that you lean heavily on, that you're used to leaning heavily on, Spirit wants you to sort of walk more towards yourself, because you know, there are new avenues of support and help available for you that will absolutely facilitate this healing, and that will really admire you in a way that you haven't experienced in kind of a while. So Spirit's saying, just like, you know, as you walk towards yourself, you know, and sort of like move away from maybe some of the standard support system structures, that opens up these new avenues for, you know, support, like both from people who have like gone through things and are, you know, coming from a healed space and can lead you, and also like someone who's going to really see you in this star energy, in this healed, beautiful position, and that'll help you see yourself more in that way too. And so that's, you know, and Spirit's advice relating to support and where you're going to find support is almost to sort of like take a little bit of a pivot and move towards yourself. And as you do that, the new avenues of support for some of you, it's a new avenue of support will open up, and it's something that will really enrich your view of yourself and your own sense of self-worth. So let's go to the oracle cards, because we're just going to pull some oracle cards on final messages from Spirit. Let's just ask Spirit for some advice for your month of April, Taurus. And let's just take a look at what this is. Advice, Spirit, for Taurus for April. Advice for Taurus for April. Okay. And I think this relates to walking towards yourself. And because Spirit is saying, like, the influences, and for some of you this isn't even friends, for some of you this is family, and for some of you this is a dogma, a belief system, like that has a real strong hold on you and that informs your decisions about how you're going to proceed with different, issues or problems. And Spirit is saying that, like, as you take that step towards yourself, as you pivot towards yourself, like, that's, really moving into the space of, like, authenticity with who you are, and, like, being seen in a more authentic, clear, even different way. It's going to take a little bit of courage to do that. Spirit's acknowledging it's going to take a little bit of courage, but Spirit's saying that this is the purification that allows you to really see yourself clearly, and not through the 3 different lenses that Spirit is saying really frame you much more than you realize. And so Spirit's almost calling you, Spirit's advice is to call you into this place of almost like an independence, enough to see that other avenue and to be able to experience yourself as perceived in this whole new way, or even experience yourself in relation to this whole new way that brings more of an authenticity and allows for this purification that really does bring you more authentically into yourself. And this really gives you this whole new sense of wonder. And you should always, like, Spirit's saying, like, you're growing and you're evolving, and this is a process of, like, not losing that wonder, letting your curiosity lead you, because it's really just like, it's constantly leading you to growth in life. So Taurus, that is what I have for you for April. And I hope that was helpful, and I hope some of that resonated. And, certainly, I look forward to seeing you next month, and thanks for spending this time with me.